guys, Eric here. I'm going to do a review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the sequel to 2018's Venom movie, which is finally reaching us a year later than expected, thanks to the delay, like all the big movies had in the past year and a half. This is an interesting one. I was not a big fan of the 2018 Venom movie. I did enjoy Tom Hardy's, kind of bonkers Nicolas Cage-esque performance in the middle of the movie. Didn't think there was much to the film, so it wasn't like I was particularly psyched about this. But let's talk a little bit. The plot setup, it's pretty basic. I think you know what you're getting here. The end of the last one set it up, which was that Cletus Cassidy is a serial killer. He is going to be executed. He's been talking to Eddie Brock. They've had a series of meetings that we kind of understand were set up at the end of the last movie. And when they're communicating to each other, when they're talking, they have physical contact, and Cletus Cassidy bites Eddie Brock, and he gets some symbiote in him. And don't you hate it when that happens? And that gives us Carnage, the spawn of Venom, now connected to this guy who is, a much more evil, murderous person than Eddie Brock is, now teamed with this powerful alien entity. What will happen at the same time as Eddie and Venom are having some issues, some relationship issues, as it were, working out their dynamic. So as I said, wasn't a huge fan of the 2018 movie, enjoyed Hardy at the center of it. And this one is more of the same, I'd say. It's interesting because they definitely leaned into the weirdness, right? They saw that people responded to that and liked that. And so you get a lot more of it. And I think even that is both a pro and a con. It kind of reminded me of the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels, where once they realized how great and interesting Johnny Depp was in that first movie, they're like, more Captain Jack, more screen time. And sometimes you felt like maybe he shouldn't have more screen time. Maybe he's better. Less is more. And to me, that's sometimes the case here with all the scenes of Eddie and Venom talking and arguing. There's a lot of them. And, this movie is going for laughs a lot of the time. And sometimes it made me laugh, intentionally so. Sometimes I found it very annoying. Again, it keeps happening. There's the scenes where they're just yelling at each other a lot. And as someone who likes my movies loud, I sometimes was like, can you guys quiet down a little bit? I get it. Again, Hardy, I give him all the credit in the world for going for broke here. He's playing both roles. He voices Venom as well. He's going full out and having a ball doing it. And there's some great moments with that, but there's some other times where Venom has such an ongoing commentary now. They throw in what Venom is saying in his mind as he's having conversations to other people who can't hear Venom. It almost feels like audio commentary on the movie. It feels like Mystery Science Theater sometimes, because you have Venom's voice kind of throwing in these jokes and barbs. And again, some of them land, but sometimes it can be just a little annoying and go too far. As for Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy / Carnage, look, they cast him for a reason. Clearly, Natural Born Killers kind of gave you the template for Woody Harrelson as a psycho killer, and he has a lot of fun with it. But I think they could have done more with Carnage as a cool comic book villain here. I felt like this movie felt like smaller than it should be. Especially for a sequel to a huge hit movie. It just felt like it needed more to happen, a couple more set pieces. A lot's been made of the fact that it's 97 minutes, and oh my gosh, that's so short. I don't think that's too short. I think you can have a full, satisfying movie in 97 minutes, especially this kind of movie, but it still felt like they were lacking one or two set pieces in the center of the movie. Venom and Carnage do not meet enough in this movie for a movie called Venom, Let There Be Carnage. You want your two title characters in their full symbiote selves to face off a lot more than they do. Harrelson, he's fun, but there's not much, nuance there. He's doing what he's doing. They team him with Naomi Harris. She plays Shriek from the comic books. And it's very funny to see how they didn't just cast Woody Harrelson because he was so great in Natural Born Killers. They gave him a Mallory. They flat out were like, okay, she's going to be this psycho killer that he's in love with. And they don't care about anyone, and they're willing to kill anyone, but they love each other. I was like, okay, yeah. So they're making a Mallory. It's very fun to see her in this role. Totally different role for her. I saw this movie hours apart from No Time to Die. So seeing her as Moneypenny and then seeing her in this was a great contrast. She's a great actress. And she has fun, I think, kind of going over the top here. But yeah, just the movie feels slight. It feels like, it's not that I'm saying it needs to have depth, because I don't think it's, it's trying to be fun and weird. and kind of light in a macabre way. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that it's Venom himself is so freaking weird, and that there's just kind of these strange, kind of weird, gross scenes or funny scenes like the trailer that showed him cooking breakfast with the tendrils, the symbiote tendrils coming out of him. It's strange. It's odd. It's not, it's not your typical thing. And I like that about it. But it just felt a lot like, okay, this is more of the same. And I think if people really dug the first, they'll probably enjoy this one too. But yeah, I just wanted a little more here. And I have to also talk about the prologue to this movie, which is set in 1996 and has a young Cletus Cassidy. And I say young because they have him be a teenager in 1996. And I'm sorry, Woody Harrelson looks great, but I think he's 60 or 61. He was not a teenager in the 1996. He was starring in The People versus Larry Flint in 1996. He'd already done Natural Born Killers a couple years before, and they dubbed the actor, the young actor playing him with Harrelson's voice. It is very goofy, but I think goofy is the thing with Venom, right? You kind of go in knowing it's going to be goofy, and you can enjoy it on that level. But this is one where I say don't see it in the loudest theater possible, because sometimes Venom could be a lot as a character. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Fairly disposable. Stay for that mid-credit scene. That'll give you some conversation starters, that's for sure. The movie itself, but it exists, and I'm curious if big fans of the first will like it. I think they will. I would give it a generous 3 out of 5. I waffled on 2.5 versus 3, but I felt like, okay, kind of gave you what you wanted, I guess, on that first one. So I'm going to giving it 3 out of 5. But that could change if I think about it too much more. So that's my thoughts on Venom, Let There Be Carnage, guys. If you see it, hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back with more here at Fandom.